Hey guys, it's Aislinn, and in today's video, we are going to be bleaching the front two areas of my hair. And this time I thought, you know what? Let me go buy like the most common box bleach dye you can find at the store, and let's try that for once. So, this immediately came to my mind. When I was in high school, I feel like this was like a new innovative thing. It actually has bleach in it. It was like the only hair color you could get at the store that had actual bleach powder. Other than that, you would have had to go to Sally Beauty to get it. So this is by Feria. It's L'Oreal Paris. Feria Hyper Platinum Advanced Lightening System Crystal Clear Platinum Result. So many people use this. I've seen this so many times on my For You page on TikTok. It seems to be the go-to box bleach at the drugstore. Now, if you're a little bit more privileged and you live in a bigger city, then obviously you have more options. You have a Sally Beauty, you can run in there and grab bleach, or even at Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, stores like that, they will carry like bright bleach, splat bleach, manic panic bleach. A lot of bigger towns that have bigger stores carry those things. However, I do live in a very small town. This is the only bleach that's available at my Walmart, so exciting. We're gonna try it together. On the top here, you guys can see the before and the after. So this is like some serious bleachage right here. I am not scared at all. I'm not worried at all. This is by L'Oreal. If you did not know, L'Oreal and Redken, owned by the same people. So L'Oreal owns Redken. So I always say if you're gonna buy like drugstore products for your hair, shampoo and stuff, I always lean more towards L'Oreal because I feel like a lot of the time their products are better quality. Like I said, L'Oreal owns Redken. They're the ones manufacturing Redken. So I feel like a lot of the products are very similar. I do feel like they have better ingredients. So this is a L'Oreal product. I feel like it should be better quality than others, but we'll see. We're gonna try it together. So it also comes with purple conditioner, which I vividly remember using in high school. I'm not gonna use the purple conditioner today because I wanna see how well my hair lifts without toning it at all. Let's read on the box a little bit about it. Here's another before and after. So it says like even if you have really dark hair, it'll get you pretty light. So that's very, very promising. It says Hyper Platinum is custom blended by mastering colorists for the imaginative trendsetter. Even dark bases can achieve our purest platinum without compromising on condition. Up to 8 levels of lift, which is very, very promising. That is like a lot of lift. You know what I'm saying? Ero's bleach kit says 2 levels of lift and this is 8. So it says you can get really, really light. And it says that it's ideal for light to dark brown hair. It's not recommended on predominantly gray or heavily highlighted hair. Do not use on relaxed hair, and results will vary depending on condition and color of hair. Let's open it and see what's inside. Okay, we have the developer. Does it say what developer this is? No, it does not. I would really prefer it if Box Color started putting the volume of developer on the outside of the container. This is probably 30 volume. I'm gonna guess 30, 20 or 30, but 8 levels of lift. I'm gonna guess it's probably 30 volume. Here is the bleaching powder. Here's the purple conditioner. And here is the Hyper Lightening Cream. So you add cream, bleach powder into the developer, mix it up, and then you apply. I love that they include this little cap in here. So you can twist off this cap, dump all the product in here, screw on this cap, shake it up, and then you can apply it so that way this doesn't get clogged with other products. I absolutely love that. Also, one of my favorite things is when companies have a screw off tip on these nozzle applicators. Instead of having ones that you have to cut off, that you have to like sit there with scissors and try and cut off, I love a little quick screw off tip. You can screw it back on. Like that is my favorite thing. You can also keep this bottle after you're done with it, rinse it out and save it because it has this little screw top on here. You can use it for other applications if you wanted to, for toning your hair afterwards. Like if you get Wella T18, you can rinse this out, mix up your Wella T18 and apply it with a bottle. Or if you have pink hair, you can dump your pink in here and like apply it all over with a bottle. So I love that this is good for multiple uses. It's a very, very thick, heavy duty container. Love that. Here's the instructions. Let's open them up. Okay, comes with a pair of gloves, and these are black, which I love. I love me some black gloves. Better than the clear lunch lady gloves is what I call them. Obviously, the instructions are gonna vary depending on if it's your first time bleaching your hair or if you're just touching up your roots. Obviously, you're gonna apply it differently and let it process different times. All over lightning, put it an inch away from the scalp. Let that process 20 to 30 minutes. And then once the 20 and 30 minutes is up, go back over that 1 inch root area you left and then let it process another 20 to 30 minutes. So 40 to 60 minutes is the processing time for this. That's if you're lightening all over. If you're just doing root application, which is what I'm doing today, it says 30 to 60 minute total processing time, which is very similar to the 40 to 60 minute processing time that it recommends if you're just doing all over bleach. So we're gonna let it process 30 to 60 minutes, that's the perfect time frame what I normally would like to process my hair. So this says if you've bleached it 4 to 6 weeks previously and you're just touching up your roots. So if you've gone longer than 6 weeks, you might need to tackle the roots in a different way or let it process a little bit longer. But this is if you bleach your roots like you're supposed to every 4 to 6 weeks, let it process 30 to 60 minutes. Very, very simple. Wash, condition, and then you're supposed to apply the toner. So it seems very, very simple. The instructions I'm loving. They're very clear, very concise. There's no wondering about the instructions. It makes it very clear to understand what you're supposed to do. All right, I'm gonna take this down and we're gonna section off my hair. So as you guys can see, I have quite a bit of roots that have grown out up here, so I'm gonna section this off and then we can start the process. All right, hair is sectioned off. I'm gonna grab a wax stick. My hair is already pretty oily. I did let my natural oils accumulate. I like to use a wax stick when I'm doing bleach on a little area and I'm not putting it all over my hair, because obviously I do not want the bleach to bleed or touch my natural color that's obviously right next to it. So I go in with a wax stick. It's a great way to kind of create a little bit of a barrier. It also helps to smooth back all of this hair and keep it out of the way while you're touching up this front area. So that's one of my favorite tricks. Use a wax stick to kind of like smooth all of this down, and also there'll be a little layer of wax on there. And since we have to wash my hair anyway, we're gonna have to wash all of this anyway, so might as well just load it with some wax and then we can wash it off. Just gonna tie all this extra out of the way there. All right, let's mix it up. I'm gonna go in with the bleach powder first. All right, putting the powder into this thing. All right, mixing up that bleach. Once that's good and mixed, we're gonna go ahead and open up the cream, and we're gonna dump it in here too. So let's go ahead and open this back up and dump the cream in. Okay, the cream is in there. Gotta mix this up, and this one I'm gonna have to mix up for a hot minute because the cream, I feel like, takes a while to fully blend in with the rest of the stuff that's going on in there. So I'm gonna sit here and mix this for a minute, throw away some of my trash, and I'll be right back when we're ready to start the application. So I'm gonna split this area into 2 sections so that way I can see what I'm doing. And I'm gonna go in with a nozzle, apply it, and then I'm gonna use a brush to kind of like tap it in at my root area. First thing I'm gonna do is flip my hair over and apply it right here at my hairline, and then I'll lay a foil down. Don't wanna miss the underneath section here. Now I'm gonna take real thin sections, then put a foil down. We'll go back in with a bottle and we'll go ahead and tap in at the root there, making sure to only get my regrowth, and I'm really trying not to overlap. I want to make sure I get it all, but I don't want to bring it too far down. Making sure to take really thin sections so that way I'm making sure it's saturating everything. Gonna put some product on there. I'm honestly loving the consistency. It's very, very creamy. It's not too thick, it's not too thin. It's a really, really, really good consistency. It makes it easy for application. I haven't seen anything swelling yet, so that's another good sign. This section is a little bit thicker, so I'm just gonna apply a little bead right here and then push it down. Make sure and get that underneath part, and then we're gonna put some more up here. We'll see if it swells at all, because right now it's pretty thin. It's on the thinner side of what I prefer with my lightener. It's not too thin, but it's getting to the point where it's just on the thin end of what I would prefer. I would like it a little bit thicker just so it stays in its place and it doesn't move around so much. But if you're not that great at bleaching your roots and you're a first timer or you're just not very good at it, it's definitely better to have the thinner consistency. It'll slide around a little bit easier and it'll make saturation a lot easier for you. You won't have to work as hard if it's thinner. It'll just slide around and kind of coat everything easier. If it's thicker, you're gonna have to work a lot harder to saturate the hair. So I understand why it's a little bit thinner, but I've done this so many times, I do prefer it a little bit thicker so I can be very precise about where I'm placing it. All right, last piece for this side. I'm gonna do the same thing since it's a little bit thicker. And now I'm gonna be very, very careful putting it along my hairline here. A little bit more right there. All right, this side is good and saturated. I'm gonna put a foil on top of it and we're gonna move on to the next side. It's so satisfying to bleach roots. I do miss bleaching my whole head. It's like very therapeutic, you know? Curious how quickly we're gonna start seeing my hair lift here. I feel like it might take a little bit longer because of that cream that was put in there, but we'll see. I don't know what volume they used. Like I said, I have no idea. I wish box dye would say the volume because, you know, I feel like it's very important, especially with the internet these days. A lot of people do their hair at home and do research online, and they're more educated about what different volumes are and stuff. Whereas I feel like maybe back in the day, in the 2000s and stuff, a lot of people probably weren't paying attention attention to what volume. They were just, you know, box dye was like the most convenient. Now a lot of people know about that stuff, so it would be nice just to know what volume you're putting on your hair, because I have no idea what volume this is. I hope it's not 30, but I feel like it's probably 30 volume. It's kind of a dangerous risk for them to put 30 volume in here, but we're about to F around and find out, I suppose, huh? I accidentally got a little brown spot in there, but I think it'll be fine. You guys can already see the one side is lifting really quick. So I'm gonna go ahead and set my timer for 60 minutes, and then I'm just gonna like check it every 5 to 10 minutes, kind of see how it's lifting. I think I'm probably gonna leave it on like 45 minutes. That's typically how long I have to leave on my color. Like I said, I don't know what volume is in here, so could go quicker, could go slower. No freaking idea. All right, we have both sides applied. It is lifting really quickly, which is making me think it's probably 30 volume. So I'm gonna go ahead and set my timer for 60 minutes. I'm gonna check it every 5 to 10 minutes, just seeing when it gets light enough. I typically have to leave my lightener on for like 45 to 50 minutes to get like a really nice pale yellow color. So we'll see in comparison to how long I normally leave it on for, how long I'll have to leave this on for. So I will be right back once we have this rinsed out, and we'll see what it looks like. It's not swelling yet, which is a good sign, so I'll be right back. All right, you guys, we are back. I just rough dried my hair. It is damp a little bit back here, but the front is totally dry. Here is what it is looking like. It lifted extremely well. Like, I am really happy with the lift. It did swell a little bit during the processing time, but not anything too crazy. I will say, when you leave the bottle sit, it will come out the top and kind of explode out of the bottle. So just keep that in mind. If you're using the whole bottle, it's not a problem, but if you let it sit for like 5-10 minutes, it's gonna start swelling and come out of the bottle. Other than that, I really enjoy this lightener. I think it did an incredible job, especially for being a drugstore lightener. It's also pretty affordable, so I will leave this linked in the description down below in case you guys want to try it for yourself. I do feel like it made my hair just a tiny bit dry, but pretty much any bleach out there is going to make my hair feel dry. Just follow up with a deep conditioning treatment and then your hair feels good as new. I did not put any leave-in products in my hair before I blow dried it, so this is literally just bleaching it, washing, conditioning, and blow drying it. This is what it looks like. So I am pretty impressed with the results and really happy with this drugstore bleach. That is all for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to check out my Instagram. The link to that is in the description down below. I post way more of my everyday life on there. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.